Hello, my name is Tom Catanese. I'm Executive Vice President of Nalco International. In 1967, I introduced shrink film packaging to the gift basket industry. Since 1979, I have presented more than 55 national gift basket seminars and 2 symposiums in Europe. In 1989, one in London, and in 1990, one in Paris. Nalco's customer list reads like a who's who in the national American consumer scene. We provide packaging for Godiva, Walt Disney World, Harry and David, and many, many major department stores that you would immediately recognize. Let me give you a sense of history as far as your industry is concerned. In 1979, I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was putting on a seminar for a very high-profile, nationally recognized department store. As I was putting this demonstration on, the cosmetic director came into the workroom and she was watching the demonstration. When the demonstration was finished and I threw the gift basket up in the air and twirled it around and then caught it with nothing happening inside the basket, she asked me if I would come up and visit with her in her cosmetic department. At this point, the genesis of the first Perfume, fragrance, and soap basket began in 1979. It took another 5 years for the perfume houses in New York City to recognize what had taken the country by storm in Dallas. And all of a sudden, gift baskets were on the cosmetic counter. And that's what we're here to talk to you about today. My claim to fame is that in 1986, I took a Rolls-Royce convertible. I filled it with English food and French giant bottles of champagne, and then I shrink-wrapped it at our 8 booths in New York City at the Jacob Javits at the International Fancy Food Show. In the mid-1980s, I designed many gifts for what I call the rich and famous, and I'm sure that as you see them come up onto the screen, you'll recognize them. Let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about foundation. We're going to talk about filler. We're going to build quite a number of baskets from start to finish. We're going to package them. We're going to enhance them. Then we're going to discuss 8 trade secrets that will help you be a better gift basket person. I should warn you, since I am in total control of this video, you're going to see some magical things happen, simply to save time. If you're ready, come with me now and let's create some gift baskets. Quite often, manufacturers provide you with a lot of goodies, such as tote bags. Quite often you use these as display pieces, but in fact, they can be used as a sale vehicle or a sale container. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart, and I want to show you the different steps and how I put this together, so that you can do it in your own, at your own counter. For those of you who aren't aware of sticker-doos, I created sticker-doos about 7 years ago, and what they do is they simply hold things together very quickly. And in this case, we're not shrinking anything. This is using gossamer, which is an iridescent film that has no strength at all, and actually I've simply made it into a fan. Put that over there. I'm going to untwist tie this. Once I untwist tie that, then the film is going to open up. And at this point, all of these are just sitting in there. But what I want to do is I want to show you the combination of elements that we have. Now, I've used some gold mylar here. We'll put that down. Well, I'm not going to put it down because once I put it down, it's going to go all over the place. So I'm going to keep it in the film, and then I'll show you the trick that I use to bring the to put the film into the box. So what I want you to do is look inside here. I've got some yellow shred material that's sort of about halfway up. But the real secret, look at how firm this bag is. I want you to see how firm it is, because once you understand how to get that firmness, here's how you get the firmness. How much cardboard do you throw out every day out of the department? Tons and tons of it. So you only need to take a piece of cardboard, square it off on your bag, and then cut it with a scissors or a razor knife. And if it turns out that it's too heavy, get one of the stock boys to help you with this. You need 2 pieces to do this. And you're going to slide that in. And you'll notice what I did was I took and placed the cord on the inside of the bag instead of on the outside. This is what's going to happen if you leave it on the outside. You can see it's not very attractive. So I'm going to put the cord on the inside, and then what I'm going to do is I want to turn this upside down. When I say turn the bag upside down, I'm going to do it this way so it'll make it easy for me to get the film into the bag. Open the bag up, square it up, make sure that everything is, and always make sure that you press down. There's a compression problem that we're going to talk about later on. But compression basically is all of the give that's inside of your product. I'm going to bring this back, place this in here, and you can see this is really a very fast and very quick gift to do. And I don't want you to look at the price points on this at this point. Let's not talk about price points or look at price points. Let's talk about construction. Let's talk about packaging. Let's talk about creating the gift. And then we can come back and talk about the other points that obviously are so important when you're doing a basket or a gift for the consumer. So I've twist tied it in the back. I'm going to come around and do it in the front. And the reason I want to do it in the front because I'm going to attach my gossamer. And the gossamer is an iridescent material. If you're not using it, you want to make sure that when you do use it, you roll it up into a ball like this. Break all of the color structure in there. Then when you're going to open it up, then you're going to come it back and you're going to fold it in, pleat it into your hands. And you bring this back here. Going to come up here and use the twist tie again. And one of the reasons we made the twist tie so long is just for this reason, so you could do 2 or 3 different materials on the bag. So at this point, if I want, I can Scotch tape this over here for more control. I can Scotch tape this up against the other piece. I'm going to come back with my sticker-doos, and let me show you basically how our sticker-doos work. I'm going to pull the sticker-doo out of the box. It automatically pops up. I put it on the back of the ribbon or the bow, and if you're using pull bows, you're going to see later on how I'll be able to do it without tying. Then I'm going to come back up, place it up here, and look at what we have. Look at the finished product. Let me turn this around, make sure that I've got what I'm looking for. All right. So this is out of balance, and if it's out of balance, I'm going to put it into balance. Put a little point on it, give myself a little point. And if I have to, I'm going to come over here and bring this up and join it together to keep it under control. So, here we have a tote bag, a very simple, a very quick, and very easy gift to assemble, to sell, and utilize those tote bags because these manufacturers give them to you, and you can make an additional sale with them. Our next gift idea is quite simple. It's what I call a soap sack, and it's usually a much smaller, less expensive gift. And as you can see, I only have 3 products in there, but let me point something out to you because you can almost not see what's inside. And let me point out an important point of view from a gift-giving angle. If you were going to buy a gift for a relative, a family member, a single gift, you would not go to get that gift and then ask for a plastic box and then put a bow on it and then give that gift to that individual so that they could see inside. Well, in gift basket giving, the concept is reversed. People want to see what's inside. Well, what I'm saying to you now is that maybe it's time to change back to covering it up, because when you have a single gift, it becomes a surprise. When you have a multiple basket gift, it becomes a multi-celebration. And that's one of the reasons the gift baskets have been so well received by the American consumer, because not only do they get a gift, that's the first celebration, then they start to discover all these other little containers and all these other little products inside, and the celebration continues. So what we have here is basically a similar point of view. I have, instead of 1 product, I have 3 products inside. And what I've done again is I've used our twist ties to hold the gossamer in place. And again, this is another fast, very, very quick gift. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing this. I'm going to put this over here. And here I've used cellophane. I haven't used shrink film. I've used our printed cellophane, our floral bouquet, which has a very nice color to it for spring or for Mother's Day. And you're going to see what I have inside is simply 3 containers, three different products, and they're not Scotch taped together. They're not. There's no fancy packing or stacking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the film in the back. And normally I like to try and use the film in the front and keep it just a little bit lower, and then I get a little bit more elevation on the back. And this is basically what your customer wants. They come into a store and they say to you, "I want a $150 or $200 gift." And then they say they're willing to pay $35 for it. Isn't that traditional, and isn't that true? So everyone who's buying a gift for someone else wants to impress upon them just how much they have spent and just how much they mean to that individual. So they're always looking for something tall, something big. Again, our twist tie, which is 12 inches long, is going to play an important role here because I have to twist it 3 times to secure it to make sure that it's not going to come apart. And again, I'm going to come back, raise this up, come back with my gathered fluff, put this in here like this, do the twist tie. Now, I already have a sticker-do on here, and I'm going to peel the rest of the paper off. So you can see, and this is not a pull bow, this is a very, very pretty ribbon on a roll. I'm going to put that in there. And if I want to cover up the elements of the gift so that people can't see inside, I can do that also. Let me take and bring this up to here like that and hold it up. And those little tiny pieces of Scotch tape will keep the film in a sort of an erect position so it won't fall back down on you. So again, here we have a very, very simple, quick, and easy to assemble gift, and it's something that you can put out for sale very quickly. So, on to the next gift, and now we're going to start to pack and stack. Now we have a very, very simplistic basket, but what I've done is I've added some fabric to the top, and I'm going to show you how we can do that using shrink film. But I've unwrapped it first simply to save time and to show you the inner workings. I'm going to put this over here, and let me take the silk flowers out. Here we've got some cosmic stardust. If you're not familiar with it, cosmic stardust is used as a dressing on top of the basket, the filler. You're not certainly filling this up as far as it goes because it's quite expensive, but what it does for one of your baskets is just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to lift this out, and what I've done is, using the sticker-doos that I showed you earlier, okay, I've taken a sticker-do and I've placed it so it will hold these 2 products together. And these are peelable, and they will come off. Almost all of the cosmetic industry today uses a very high-gloss chrome coat on their boxes, so you don't have to be concerned about damage to it. But this is going to hold together. I'm going to take this other one out and show you that the bottom of the basket, basically at this point, is filled with a clear cello. And then after I place the clear cello in the bottom, then I'm going to come down and do an edging of gold and push it back and dig it in so that we've got that edging of gold. And then after I place my products, then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to show you how I'm going to add the cosmic stardust, the glittering starlight. So come back and place that in there like that. And again, I don't have to use a lot. Normally I'll try and use some up in this area in between products. I don't want to cover the name, obviously. We want, especially the vanity of the brand name today is critically and very important to the sale. People are buying it because of a certain individual. Let me get some of this all up. We can come back, and obviously you can see that I could use pink flowers in here. I could use gold flowers. Here I've got some poinsettias that go in very nicely. One of the things that you want to do is to try and make sure that when you do place your flowers in, that you place them in an alcove position, meaning that when the film touches the silk flowers, it doesn't crush them. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to wind up wrapping this with just a single sheet of shrink film, and then what we'll do is we'll show you how we're going to shrink it down, and this way we can give you an idea of how the silk flowers are not going to be touching. Now, What I've done is I've turned this box into a dispenser box. And here is one of the boxes that we use, which is a 100-foot roll box, and I've got some Superstar film in here, which is shrinkable and has a pattern on it. Here I've got clear film over here and also clear film over here. And this has a serrated edge on it. So the first time around when you purchase the film from us, ask for that serrated dispenser box, because it can be a counter box, and it makes life easy because you're simply going to pull it out and then rip it off that way. Another easy way to remove the film is to use the sharp scissors as if you were cutting fabric. And the way I'm talking about that is just simply cut it that quickly. Put this over here. Going to come back, and obviously you want to try and keep your table as free as possible. And I'm going to use the film in a crisscross pattern or a diamond pattern. I'm going to pull this up, pull it up in the back. I want to balance, give some balance to the film when I do this. Gather it up, and normally I'm going to try and get as many wrinkles away from the front of the basket as possible. Because again, we go back to that concept of trying to let the customer see inside so they can make a deciding decision to buy the product. And here I'm going to use Scotch tape. And I'm going to use some Scotch tape to hold the products in place until I get myself into a position where I can twist tie the top. Then once I do it 3 times, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to the top of this. All right? I'm going to take some of this off. I'm going to come back and I'm going to take the Scotch tape. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do what we call flare top packaging. Flare top packaging is where you add an additional value to the top of the gift to give it that much more height and that much more prominence. Now, I'm going to take the heat gun that I have. We offer 2 different styles of heat guns. This is our inexpensive low temperature and high temperature unit. It has both the high temperature and the low temperature. The low temperature will not make a hole. The high temperature will shrink much, much faster. I'm coming around. And when I get to this point, I'm going to take, and this is a trade secret, make sure that you turn the direction of the nozzle away from the flare. And this way, you won't shrink the flare, and you'll have more control over the products inside. And the Scotch tape is going to stay on the film. I'm not going to take the Scotch tape off. All right? And at this point, that's about, we can't do a whole lot better than that because we're taking a flat piece of material and we're wrapping it around a fairly round object. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to come back, and now I'm going to take my bow